You are listening to The Shofar, the official podcast of JDL USA.
in our midst. We don't call authorities. No, we're gonna throw some pistol. We might even choose some guns or some RPGs. Call them Uncle Ryan with the IEDs. You down with G.O.D.? Yeah, you know me. We'll fight to the finish for the Yehudi. We don't talk to police. We only pull up something like a lost Peru. We have Jews from the streets. Trying to bring the shit, I can't spread the real truth. We don't talk to police. We don't put our trust in man, cause we know it's all decided by Hashem's hand. We don't roll with Palestine. We don't roll with white supreme, cause we know it's all the same. We respect the Holy Land. We don't talk to police. We only put our trust in like a lost Peru. We're the Jews from the street. Trying to bring the shit, I can't spread the real truth. The street Jews with guns didn't have college funds. We only had the Torah and protected from above. We had the light and the love. We fought without boxing gloves. We never met an anti-Semite that didn't run. When they came across a group, they would learn to fear the Jew. They would watch it like forever because this is what we do. We don't talk to police. We only put our trust in like a lost Peru. We're the Jews from the street. Trying to bring the shit and white people. Wow, Israel high, raise your guns to the sky, cause we're never gonna lose. Cause Hashem is always right. We are the lions of Judah, the ones from the other side. We are a light unto the nations. No one can go outside.
Hello, Shavua Tov. Welcome to the Shofar. And now we are center stage.
Oh, we're back again. No, we're not. Now we are. No, we're not. Now we are. There we go.
Greetings.
Greetings
Now,
from the Sisters of Mercy fan club.
now we are center stage.
All right. Hello.
The streaming platform we're using has had a couple changes, so obviously a bit of
Mhm.
technical mumbo jumbo there. So here we are.
In the back half of a hippie house with the with the different flashing colors.
It's actually not a hippie house, but
Yeah.
he's just saying that because the lights are
Hippie lights.
different colors.
Hippie lights.
We can, if you like that, we can change the color. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of
It's
put
of
it.
no consequence to me. I'm no hippie.
I put it on the it just cycles through all of the colors that are available on this light. But anyway,
Well, I'll welcome myself back to the show.
welcome Jason.
Hey, I'm back to the
Shlomo,
show.
back to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Shlomo, large and in charge.
People didn't get enough of being verbally tongue roasted
They
on the podcast.
they didn't get destroyed enough.
So thanks for having me back on the show.
We are.
It's been a long time since I seen you. I think you were over by the refrigerator last time.
Yeah, the joke being obviously we live together, but so this is the end.
But I'm proud to be a guest, even though I live together.
Yeah.
I normally, eat and sleep while you do these, but
this is the end of Shabbat. Obviously,
Yes.
we do the show mostly Shabbos, so this is the end of a special Shabbat Nachamu. If you want to learn about that, please go on to the blog, which is listed right down there where it says subscribe to our newsletter, barzellshul.substack.com. Go there. There's a great article about this special Shabbat that just passed, and lots of other wonderful information. But the main thing is that this is the first Shabbat after Tisha B'Av, after the 3 weeks have ended. So essentially, this is where we're supposed to be turning the vibe, the mood a little bit.
Focus.
We're going a little away from
us all accepting that those are some of the darkest days.
Yeah, from the darkness into looking forward to the Rosh Hashanah for the new year, and of course for Yom Kippur afterwards. So we're trying to turn the tone to a little bit more positive. And with that, I wanted to...
We're going to turn it over to Tiny Tim, who we've exhumed for a performance this evening.
He's going to cheer it up for us. No, I feel that I wanted to talk about Jewish joy and Jewish angst, and how being sad and upset doesn't help anything. It makes the other side laugh. When we get so angry that we're like shaking and triggered, and they think that's funny, so don't. You know, we know, yeah, some sad shit happened, right? Like, we have to move on and think about it. Like, Israelis, did they just shut down Israel since October 7th and say, well, that was very sad, we cannot function, we cannot do anything? No, people have to go on with living their lives, and the people who died wouldn't want you to basically die with them and live in this darkness all the time.
Yeah, you know, that reminds me of a quick story. The Lubavitcher Rebbe set up a place in Russia, or for Russian Jews to go in Israel and live. And they went over there, and there was unfortunately a massacre. And after the massacre, they were waiting for him to say something, and they were saying, you know, how could this have happened? And he says, well, it happened, but we have to go on for their memory. Exactly. The reason why we're going on is because of them. We're not going on because of us anymore. We're going on because of them, because it's, you know.
You have to.
Short story.
Yeah, you have to carry on. And there are so many people that are still traumatized from October 7th and the subsequent realization
that most people in America didn't give a shit.
Didn't give a damn. No. And we knew ahead of time, number one, that this was going to happen. Obviously, well, I did a track with Rabbi Schifrin in 2011 talking about how something like this was going to happen and essentially had to happen to wake people up before they were going to wake up. And this is exactly what the case was, because in 2011, we traded 1,000 terrorists for one soldier, Gilad Shalit, and one of those terrorists was who? Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of October 7th. So a lot of people outside of our immediate circle were pretty much caught off guard, shocked, and so therefore it was more traumatic to them because they weren't ready for it. You know what I mean? Like, when I looked at the footage, it was traumatic because it was so gory and it's so horrific and it's just sad shit. But other people had an element of shock added to the disgustingness and just the trauma of the violence itself. You know what I mean? And I think that is what a lot of Jews are still dealing with. They go, oh, I can't believe, every day I see a new post on some Jewish social media or something about another artist came out and supporting Palestine. We got to stop supporting, throw out your records of this guy, throw out your records of that guy. And it's just sad to keep them.
If I did that, I wouldn't have any good record.
Well, first of all, most people in music are idiots.
It's entertainment. It's not supposed to be your political statement.
Yeah, and frankly, that's why, when I do music that's serious and political, it's a very small crowd because that's not what music generally in the market is. Market is for stupid people.
You're not holding your breath like, how come this super political song isn't on top 40?
Right, exactly, because most of it is vapid fodder for stupid people. So they're going to believe in stupid things. When you go and somebody sang a song, for example, about sex, and they got popular for singing some dirty song, do you really think that they're going to have a respectable opinion on the Holy Land? I mean, let's get down to it. That's not highly likely. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not highly likely. You should not be shocked that your favorite Hobag artist is for Palestine. Hobags generally are now for Palestine. Why? Because that's the liberal position. It means anything goes because we know that it doesn't make sense. We know that it doesn't make sense for somebody who doesn't wear covered up clothes, who is pro-gay or whatever, to support that stuff. But they want to go with anything goes, so it doesn't have to make sense. They just go with what their side is going with. We try to make sense of things. If there's something that's becoming popular that's on quote unquote my side, I can call it out fairly often. You will hear me saying, hey, the Zionist side, the right wing side, you guys are doing this wrong. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. But on the left wing side, they're rank and file. They lockstep.
They're all for the party.
Exactly. They do what the group dictates.
The party says something, they all agree with it.
They don't go by what's right or wrong.
The biggest problem, I hear you talking about the Jewish angst. The biggest problem is people think the government is going to help them. People think politics are going to help them. People think that we can vote our way into a free, safe thing. I hate to tell you, this is a battle between good and evil, and anti-Semitism is just a part of that.
Part of evil.
It's not a battle between us and anti-Semitism. It's a battle between us and evil.
Well,
like I had said earlier, when Amalek was attacking the Jews that were leaving Egypt and going after the stragglers in the back end, the bigger question we should ask ourselves is, why were there stragglers, and why weren't there young, able-bodied Jewish men and women going back to pick up the guys in the back? Because of human nature.
Right.
Human nature dictates that those people were trying to save themselves and were rushing ahead of everyone else, and while leaving the old and the infirm to be picked off by Amalek. So God, in turn, will punish you if you don't think about simple things that,
Right. Even going that far back to the genesis of us as a nation, going from a family to a nation.
Why didn't they turn around and go, look, they keep killing the old people that are too slow to keep up. Why don't we turn around and keep the pace with these old people?
Mm-hmm.
And God might have blessed them and killed the people who were attacking the The point is that, we're supposed to have faith in God as a Jewish nation and as a tribe. And if we don't have that faith in God, we aren't a Jewish nation anymore. We're a secular mishmash of a sort of an ethnic tribe.
Right.
Without God, which is the covenant, which binds us together and helps us understand why we should walk with faith. And without him, there's,
nothing.
There's nothing. And so people, a lot of them crying, this is not a popular viewpoint, but hello, if you don't believe in God, the covenant's not for you. It's not there
for you.
It's there for you, and it's.
But you have to go get involved.
Well, it's like a rope ladder that's not undone.
It's there.
It's there. You can climb it at any time, and God's offering it to you clearly. But the realistic story is that you're not using it, so
it's not going to work out for you in that way.
Oh, the I'm going to get blessings and stuff. Like I heard people talking about, I need money. Well, I hate to tell you, if you use the royal diadem for anything but what it's supposed to be for, you curse your life and you shorten your days. There's nothing you should be using in the Torah to make money.
Unless you're starving.
Same thing goes with the eggs of the Jews.
Right. I mean, unless you're starving and you're trying to pray to be able to feed your family, that's a different thing.
But let's be critical and say that I guess
I'm
talking about a media Jew culture, I guess, where I see this repeated in magazines and on social media. I don't necessarily see Jews out in the real world, crying and having angst over people that hate them,
on occasion.
The social media has laid bare,
Only I'll run into those things if I go to these really large Jewish events, only where there's like a bunch of normal women came to it.
I understand. I'm just meaning that social media has laid bare people's, what they eat all day long, and so obviously it's laid bare people's ideas about politics,
everybody's feelings,
and
Israel,
a lot of people are crying and upset because number one, they didn't pray first before they made that post.
Right.
They didn't go pray. They didn't go in the other room and say, Lord, do I really need to make a post decrying anti-Semites in my neighborhood? Lord, do I really need to do it? And they don't have that backing, so they in turn fail when it comes to doing the work because they're not doing it from a place of, look, I'm working for God here, and if I'm not working for Him, who am I working for? I mean, literally, I'm not working for the rabbi, am I? The rabbi has his own place in the story, Well, so I think if more people, bottom line, if more people would force themselves into Torah ideal and Torah viewpoints, they would find a lot of the angst disappearing and a lot of the, oh, well, they hate you, want to kill you. Well, that's okay. Read the Torah. They've been wanting to do that forever.
Right.
It's not really a big deal.
Our responsibility as a Jew is not to end anti-Semitism. You can't end anti-Semitism.
No.
You defend yourself against anti-Semites who are trying to hurt you. And that's what you need to be prepared to do if somebody wants to come and fight you or hurt your family.
You can no sooner end anti-Semitism as you can end evil.
Right, exactly. You can't.
It's too,
like I said 1,000
vague
times,
of a term.
There's no pie chart that you're going to show to them to make them understand why being fucking evil is bad. It's the wrong choice, but they want that. So it's useless,
I mean, like the Nazis.
Our responsibility is to live as Jews, not to fight everybody who doesn't like a Jew.
Yeah.
Now, you do have to fight them in the sense if they're going to try and cause a problem for you. But you can't change their ideology.
Hence the reason why we don't have a Jewish offensive league or a Israel offense force. We have defense because you have put us on the defense.
Right.
Jews should stay on the defense.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right. And I watched an interesting video recently, and the guy made a good point. I can't remember the gentleman's name right now. Maybe I will at some point. But he was talking about how, anti-Semitism is not a Jewish problem, it's a societal problem. Yeah. And it's not our responsibility to fix their minds.
In their minds. Yeah.
That's
not part of Tikkun alone.
It's part of society's own evolution and trajectory. What direction are they gonna go? I mean, we didn't start them hating us, so why would we expect that we can stop them hating us? You just have to be prepared to defend yourself against the ones who do hate you, because inevitably they're there. Until the time of Mashiach, they're there.
Here, let me tie this in here too. Recently, we're in Deuteronomy, I believe, in the Parshas. And recently, I'll say this to the scholars that are paying attention. Why did Saul lose his kingship? Okay, but we'll speed it up. Reason why he lost his kingship is because he did not do exactly as he was commanded.
By the Lord. Yeah.
By the Lord through, he was told, go into that valley, get rid of these people. He went into that valley and he kept the king alive, made a deal with certain ones of them, and he did what he wanted to do in the valley. The point is that That's not faith in God. That's not faith in Hashem.
That's faith in your own decision making.
Faith in your own decision making, and when you go so far into your own decision making that you ignore God's direct orders, well, you get what comes from that.
What do you expect?
Yes, that's not something that anyone can help you with. But what we can do as the JDL is continue, like we always do, is to try to get people to go back to the Torah. Go back to the shul. You're having a problem with anti-Semitism in your community? Go back to your shul.
Connect with your
people. Connect with your synagogue. See if they feel the same way as you do. Share ideas about the person, about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the shul. Stop acting like the answer is protesting like the goy and going out there and standing in the street and yelling like we're Ben Franklins. It does not do a thing. Going back to shul and praying and practicing and doing mitzvah. Gentlemen, if you don't have tefillin, wrapping tefillin, it's a must.
If you are,
so if you're not wrapping tefillin, don't tell me about your flag at the banisters and all that nonsense.
Yeah, at least try.
At least try. We don't want to hear it.
But if you are going to go encounter the people, you need to go and bring the word of God, not yell all these secular arguments and try and have a debate on the street with these people. If you watch recently,
look at them, let's prove they're murderers. That they love murder.
Yeah, we know, right?
So what? Everybody knows they're pieces of crap.
In my recent excursion, I went to this Past, Present, and Future Struggle of Palestine event in Evanston, and it was not a debate. It was essentially me being a street preacher. I was going out there quoting scripture, talking about how anybody in there, JVP or whatever, who claims to be that they're Jewish is going against the Torah, and I explained why. And then I would sing Hebrew songs and prayers. That's much more effective than trying to go and argue with them, because number one, going to argue with them, you're going to give them a reason to have you removed or try and do. And also, they look like the fool and the aggressor, because if you're out there like I was out there, with prayers, and they're coming up and yelling epithets at me, that's a better optics than me just going up to some event and trying to scream at each individual person.
When Goliath, here I go again. When Goliath was challenging the Israel troops and saying, "You guys are all lily-livered, chicken chest bird boys. Ain't none of you gonna do nothing to me," and they didn't, because they were scared. They were like, "This guy's fucking 8 feet tall. He's gonna fucking whomp me." And God put the power, that little spark, he put it in a little boy, David. And he said, "David, go show them what your faith in God will do." And he walked forward in front of all the army of the other Jews, who probably were like, "Look at this fucking idiot ginger kid, thinks he's gonna knock over Goliath." And then when he knocks over Goliath, they all probably had,
when the rock hits,
that moment, how it feels to chew 5 gum, As soon as he got hit, they realized that, wow, the faith that boy had to go and face a monster who literally could have rent him apart.
Yeah,
ripped him apart with his bare hands. He was such a big man, like Andre the Giant versus, Danny DeVito, basically, And that's and God had to work through the lowliest of us. And so you have to remember, when you feel the worst, that's because he's working within you. And he can't work within the guy who's got everything going perfect. There's nothing there for him.
And
literally,
some people forget that
the value of struggle.
Well, not just that, but in all of this is the hand of God.
Yeah.
Hashem dictates all of this, and everything comes from him. So when you're like, "Oh, this, I don't know why," that you don't have to know why, you just know how.
Yeah.
Because Hashem made it, that's how he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't have to have some deep understanding and overanalyze and overthink it too much, because you start putting your own opinions in it then.
Yeah.
And it becomes convoluted nonsense.
Yeah, kind of like the Islamic Wikipedia take of the Torah, convoluted nonsense.
I'm sure.
Somehow the Torah was, tainted by humans, even though it was given to us by God. It's like people online have they have an online world, which is not the same thing as the real world and the literary world. It's not the same story as the library. The library and the online world are two different places.
Well, it used to be they're blending now. The library is becoming the internet, sadly. But there used to be a definite separation.
So we're talking about Jewish eggs, and we're talking about how, don't let them see you cry. Go pray first before you cry about it.
Yeah, don't
And if
cry,
you find yourself crying
triggered.
more and more on the internet for attention or for whatever it is, you need more and more to the synagogue.
Right.
Get your ass to the synagogue. If you're a woman, go jump in the mikveh. Right. Stop crying about Sure, but women, that's something women can specifically do, and they can do it to relieve some of the tension and the pressure they're feeling since October 7th. Mm-hmm. It's as being somebody who's been an OSINT or war reporter most of my days, I've seen so much stuff that it's disgusting what I've seen, and so I can imagine normal people seeing stuff that they saw on October 7th, there's still going to be damage to this day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's still
where people go. I saw people show such brutality to me because of who I am, and it makes them fearful of the future. And so you are dealing with trauma, but again, as the JDL USA, let us be the first to tell you, faith outweighs the trauma. You have to go and practice. You have to push yourself into the faith more. And if you say, well, it's not for me because this is happening and this is happening in my life, or I've had bad experience, whatever. Take your pain and your trauma to the shul and don't look back. Cry out to God if the shul's closed. The best synagogue is in the heart. But realistically, get a siddur, practice at home. Don't feel bound by traditions that women can't do certain things. Go do whatever you would like.
Grab your book.
Yeah,
open it up.
Read anything you can.
If you can't read Hebrew, the other side has English usually.
It is said that the most lowliest of prayers, even the prayers done incorrectly, are heard first in the court of the heavens.
Yeah, because the people who mean it the most,
is the ones that God loves you the most.
And that's the strongest prayer is when you actually care about it.
And to him, he goes, he smiles a smile and he goes, that prayer was so good, the angels had to listen, and they hate that. Because when the angels are proven wrong, angels are not the humans' biggest fan. And when they are proven wrong that there was a purpose for humans and that love was one of the purposes, and we're not all filthy John Wayne Gacy's, well, God smiles because that was his purpose. That's why he chose the Jews and gave it to us, the Torah. We're the only group that agreed that according to God, we won't murder people.
Right.
According to God. How we can kill has to come along God's lines. So the answers to everything you're looking for is deep inside the Torah. And it's not deep if you open the book. You get it?
Right.
The books are only deep when they're closed.
Right.
Okay? They're like pools.
Because then
pools are only deep when you don't dive in them.
Right,
but realistically, the information is buried. So go and dig it up and find yourself. The creator wants pleasure for the creature.
On that topic of...
Are we moving to a new topic?
Yeah, on the segue.
Moving to a new topic.
Well, it's kind of a segue because we're talking about not putting your own opinions in there and just having faith that, what it says in the book is true, right? And what does it say in the book? God is the creator of all right? God has created everything. And the beginning of creation, there was him and the heavenly court, and what we don't even need to know what are the details of everything that existed before what we call creation now. But it all comes from Hashem, the one source.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk a little bit.
That reminds me of the worm in the leaf.
Yeah.
We'll repost that again on our blog.
It made me want
A lot
to
of you might already know that.
discuss racism.
Now, racism.
So racism is now by default. I know it can be a weasel word. It is a term essentially coined by Trotsky. Now, a lot of people will use that and say, well, my views on race, so what if I'm a racist? That was coined by Trotsky. So why do you want to be something that was coined by Trotsky, first of all? But the deeper issue is that Ein od milvado, there is none other besides him, outside of him. So when you are representing a Jewish group, like, for example, a Jewish group using similar symbolism to JDL, if somebody is going out and making racist statements with a Jewish identity.
Shit. What are you talking about? When you little assholes run around with the cock flag and the JDL stings, and you'd be like, "Oh, fucking Arabs! Every single Arab is a killer, and they all worship a pedophile." And you guys sound like that Muslimic ray guns, dude. Remember him?
Yeah.
Muslimic ray guns. We got to stop the Muslimic. You sound like a fucking idiot who's never opened a book in his life.
Well, first of all,
you do.
And there's other, but I'm not even just talking about that. There are like chat rooms and things and comment sections. For example, somebody who considers himself a Jewish warrior.
Oh, you guys talk about Ronan again? Ronan, your comment section is complete trash. And if we fucking run into you on the street, you know we're a bunch of sharp skinheads, right? You dumb motherfucker.
We have Jews race baiting, essentially.
Yeah.
Fuck all Arabs, N-word,
well, let's call them online Jews.
Right.
Because we have no proof that the person's even Jewish that's posting.
Well, okay. But the point is,
stir up division, number one, is not very Jewish.
We see it in real life too, though, because at protests we've seen the fake 613 Brotherhood yelling about Arab trash and all this stuff. Everything looks bad when you do that, and not just, let's try and impress the goy or turn out our pockets for them.
They're saying that
you are not representing Jewish values, and you're making
representing
Jews look
what you
like pagans, basically.
Okay, Kahan was operating in Israel. He wasn't in Philadelphia going, these Arabs need to leave Philadelphia. He wasn't in New York saying, these Arabs need to leave New York. He never once said a fucking thing like that, ever. When he was in Israel, he was specifically referring to the Arabs that were encroaching and wanted to take the settlers' land, which they called settlers, but he's not a racist. I mean, we're talking about a rabbi, a lifelong rabbi and an author, not a racist. He doesn't have those. We're Jews. We don't have those racist bones. We don't care. We have no dog in the race fight.
Yep.
Okay. And so people who try to attribute, our hatred of Arabs and our hatred of anti-Semitism is the reason why we're a reaction group. No. No. We're not Antifa. We don't exist as a reaction to a problem. That's not the case. We're a Jewish defense league. And if we're going to defend the Jews, we would always stick with that line.
On that note, we're going to take a short break for a moment here, and we'll be right back.
when I say I am better than you and you can never be as good as I. That is racism. Judaism says Jews are better than others, but anyone can be a Jew. That's not racism.
Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner
konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodl, Krebs und Burgdorf. Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer sind Sie, dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen? So weit ist es also gekommen. Das Militär hat mich belogen! Jeder hat mich belogen, sogar die SS! Die gesamte Generalität ist nichts weiter als ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie...
Ich hab ihnen jeden nur gegen Widerstand in den Weg gelegt! Ich habe...
und in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg.
Because she's anti-Islam.
So Pamela Geller has had a lot of faux pas here
Pamela
and there.
Geller has made all her money off being against Islam.
Right,
Her whole shtick is being against Islam.
right.
Which
She doesn't
to
promote
me is fucking boring.
a Jewish message or anything
No.
like that.
No.
I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I mean, just made a lot of faux pas. And this, to me, sounds like it would be one of them.
Well, that person, that's one person in that
Yeah.
group, and he doesn't have a group yet.
Well, no, he has
No.
a child from Canada.
Well, of course, a federal agent from Canada would say he's a child.
But yeah,
He's so small.
in any case, hold on, let me.
Just imagine. There we
Okay,
go.
sorry.
Well, anyway, let's not spend a bunch
Yeah,
of
we're not
time
gonna spend a
on
lot of
that
time
fucking
talking about
retard.
different,
He's dead rabbits around here.
Yeah, we're not gonna spend a lot of
the
time
story
talking about
is-
that,
is
but
the-
this
you
is
know,
the real JDL.
Let me say what I wanted to say
You know.
before. Some of us just want to watch the Rabbi's Parsha and check out Natasha's show every Saturday, and some people keep putting their stupid heads in the damn way. Stop. Because this is, oh, we're a fake organization. Oh, you got a rabbi in yours?
Look, I've been involved in the
Gee,
Jewish Defense
Nerve
League
of some of these
for
people online.
25 years. Okay. There is no body that is legit in the Jewish Defense League network that doesn't know who I am. There are occasionally some people who are on the outside circles who may have questions. Say, who are you? And then I say, refer them to an older person and say, ask this person. They know me. So I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I did all my proving for the last 25 years. And the fact that I have kept this organization, whether underground or above ground, safe, organized,
media free,
and
full. We don't go on.
We have not been infiltrated.
You're getting everybody's opinion. The people who infiltrate us, they end up buying us food.
No, people who attempt to infiltrate.
Get to buy us food.
Right, but we have never been successfully infiltrated or liquor. Don't forget that they also buy alcohol.
Hey, they can buy me a damn child slave.
That's what they.
They're federal agents.
That's what they do. Yeah.
I can tell them I'm looking for a child slave.
You can tell them you're looking for 10 truckloads of fentanyl, and they'll probably, yeah, we'll get that. Yeah.
Well, I think the topic, we're getting off topic a bit, but the story about where were we at?
Well, we were talking about, and I'll play the clip again, but we're talking
there.
about.
I know you're laughing.
Racism and how it goes against
racism.
Jewish values.
Yeah,
and I played this clip. It's only 14 seconds. I'll play it again.
Okay, play it again. Pay attention, everyone.
Is when I say I am better than you and you can never be as good as I. That is racism. Judaism says Jews are better than others, but anyone can be a Jew. That's not racism.
So, okay,
so it
you heard
was
that?
14 seconds. Get it?
If
anybody, 14 seconds?
Anybody can be a Jew.
Yeah.
It's not racism.
No.
He says, we believe Jews are better. And the Jewish idea is the best, but anybody can become that and do that. It's a choice you make to not do that.
So if you sit sniping at us from the sidelines and say, oh, well, I hate the Jews. Well, did you read all about it? Did you think about becoming one? I mean,
you think, when people are jealous of the Jews, you guys, blah, 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 blah. You have
we run the world. Come to our side.
No interest loans. First of all, they think the no interest loans is like from banks or something. They're that stupid. Yeah. When we talk about no interest Jewish loans, that's between Jews.
Yeah, let's be fair. Most of our commandments are between us and other Jews.
Yeah, it's not.
We don't have.
It doesn't mean that you can go to a regular FDIC bank and have a zero interest loan because you're a Jew. No, it means that if you go to a Jewish charity, they'll give you a loan and they won't charge interest on it. Like, that's literally what it means. It has nothing to do with banks at all. Even if the guy that runs the bank is Jewish, he cannot legally extend special loans to Jews.
There's people out there who believe Borat is somehow affecting their lives and he's controlling them. And Amy Schumer and Seth Rogen, he's going to make another movie, damn it.
So as crazy as those people sound, these Jew haters, as crazy as they sound, you will sound equally crazy if you act like the Arabs are controlling everything and that Black people are all against the Jews on the street. All of these conspiracy theories, you're just inserting a different group just the same way as these goyish
Patriot
fools
Front people do. Yeah.
Okay? So when you post race baiting things, look, they're attacking white people. First of all, Jews are not white. Stop trying to get in with the white people. They're not going to be there for us. They're not going to support us. They will turn your ass over to whatever authority is looking for Jews, whether it's a fucking local terrorist gang or whatever.
Yeah. Racism is see, the thing about us is that before JDL, we were involved in FightWing, which a lot of people,
that's not before. That's in the middle.
Well, it was the secondary group. And the secondary group,
in addition
we don't tolerate racists. We don't tolerate people who are wishy-washy about racism because we don't wish to create environments that aren't safe for people. We also don't wish to create environments that aren't safe for children.
Well, also, if you paint the Jew as racist, you paint the Jew with a target. Racism is pretty much the most, hated thing in modern society. I know they've moved on to some transphobia and some other things, but the root of it is that they relate this all to racism, and racism being the traditional definition of racism, belief that certain groups are lower or inferior to you. Yeah. Okay, not some modern woke intersectional thing that Zionism means racism or cultural racism.
You're going deep though, because let's be serious. The word anti-Semitism or anti-Semitism or how do you
anti-Semitism.
Semitism. I sound like Ozzy. Oh shit, we're anti-Semitism. The idea is that the Jew is in opposition to the Aryan Superman.
That's what anti-Semitism.
That's why we don't agree with the term anti-Semitism. Right. You're saying there is an Aryan Superman. We prefer Jew hatred. Yes.
Yeah, you hate
because
Jews.
I don't agree with the idea that there's an Aryan Superman that the Jew is against them. I don't agree with this at all.
Yeah. First of all, that doesn't make sense.
It's nonsensical. It doesn't back up. History don't back up the idea. Those ideas are convenient for some people, but like our clip once said, the science does not find these ideas convenient and truthful.
And
you do.
The other thing is that it's a deflector for people from the Palestine side. They'll say, well, you're anti-Semitic because Palestinians are Semites, which they're not. They're actually Arabian. But maybe they have some part of Semitic DNA, those who were forced to convert to Islam and they were previously Jews or something like that. But for the most part, they're not Semitic people.
Most of the time,
but they will use that and say that other Semitic peoples are covered under anti-Semitism. When it was created specifically as a word, like you said, to represent a war between the Aryan and the Jew, it was created by Germans,
idea of the word.
And they wanted to stop using Judenhass, which means Jew hate.
And they felt like it was, too brutal. Like they say, this is not going to look right. Let's tell them there's this thing. It's called
anti-Semitism,
and this is because of the Aryan Superman. Yeah. Because according
anti-Semitism is basically a sanitized word for Jew hate. So why sanitize it? It's dirty. Leave it dirty.
When they were facing gunpoint at the end of their lives, would tell people, well, go ahead and kill me. You're a bunch of subhuman animal, and they wouldn't care. They would take the bullets.
Right.
People believe in this crazy idea that one race of people is stronger or better than the next. And if that was the case, wouldn't it be the Maoris? Because those niggas is the master race. I mean, they're huge.
Everybody's
they got tattooed faces, and they're like unbeatable. They can breathe in the water.
And most of them are very pro-Israel because they're on the indigenous struggle.
I'm just saying. I mean, I got jokes all day, but seriously, the master race is not a bunch of fucking white people. I mean, we built some stuff. That's not really what happened. You didn't just build that yourself. You didn't, like Obama says, you didn't build that.
Yeah, you had some help. You did have some help. But yeah, and the other thing is it denies Hashem as the source of everything. Like we're talking about earlier, the source of all is the one
doing
thing.
that pagan Christian thing where you're saying that something else is responsible. Right. Evil is not responsible for a bad thing that happened. It was God. Mm-hmm. Because someone did something wrong and they got punished. That's what this whole world is.
Hashem created all of the people of all the different races, Arabic, which is essentially a mixed ethno-linguistic group, not even a race. But some people will racialize them.
Well, racism, again, is just not tolerated in our group.
No, it's not tolerated because it's against the Torah.
We don't blanket statement groups of people.
It's
We're not
against
like,
the Torah.
Oh, the dirty Arabs. Okay, I'm born and raised in the south side of Chicago. I don't know what you mean by dirty Arab. They have the cleanest fucking stores. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe the dirty Arabs live in New York. Or
the Palestinian.
Well, those guys
version.
we know Palestinians are pagans because there's no Palestine in Quran.
Right.
Okay, so you're a pagan and you follow some pagan religion shit. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people who just be like Arabs.
The trees and the stones told me there's a Yehud.
We're facing Arab aggression. No, you're not. You're an idiot. That's what's happening here. You're an idiot.
And
why don't you show some respect for other people and mind your own business
also,
and shut your mouth?
If you believe
these people make me angry.
Rightfully, that the Palestinian identifying Arabs are truly the enemy, which they are, you need to have some modicum of respect for the enemy, at least at the basic level that you know that, okay,
I pray for
have
them
a
too.
different viewpoint,
when
and that is their problem. You got to hate their ways, not their race.
When I pray for them, when I pray for the Jews, because a lot of times I'll pray for my people and go, hey, God, they're suffering and they're not as tough and stupid as some of us. So they're really suffering, God, and I pray for the Pallies too. I say, God, these guys got them fooled into thinking that they're a Roman.
This is a thing.
That there's a Roman emperor that had a gay concubine. You're using his name. You're cursing yourself before God.
Lift the wool from your eyes.
Lift
Stop
the wool from
believing
your
in
eyes.
this nonsense.
I wonder if they believed in a different name, if they would be treated the same.
Doesn't matter. They want our whole land regardless. I don't care if they called it.
We can't
Levantine Arabia.
because there's some guys over there who are like into trip hop, and they got nothing to do with nothing.
No.
You don't believe that?
Because then they wouldn't call themselves a Palestinian. It's a political identity. I wouldn't call myself an anarchist if I didn't believe in anarchy.
See, well, okay, so then you see how the story is primarily about what is going on in the Middle East.
It's a belief system.
It's hard for everyone in America to ingest this whole story.
Right.
Because it's a Middle East
style.
It's a Middle East style issue. You're either going to fight a motherfucker over it or you're not going to fight a motherfucker over it. That's what the Middle East is like. It's
right.
Not,
and I think
we have friends that are buried because they went over there to fight. We have since the 80s, how many friends have we lost that fought in the war? More than a few.
But
they come home and lose it in other ways.
The other thing is feds, right? Feds are going to highly try and infiltrate Jewish movements, especially radical Jewish movements.
And emphasize racism.
Exactly. They're going to try and
showcase that this is a group that deserves the same treatment as what they're saying the other side deserves.
They want to be able to send FBI agents into every Jewish group. And to be able to do that, they need proof to say, oh, these are extremists, they're race hate spreaders, this and that. And these people are more than happy to give them that fodder to go and make things about the blacks on a Jewish page on Instagram or something like that.
You guys call him out yet?
Yes.
We're gonna whoop your ass, bro.
We did.
Yeah, we're gonna whoop your ass. And if we don't get you, someone out there is gonna get you. You're gonna get your ass whooped. And when you get your ass whooped and you tasting that blood in your lip, just remember that you crossed the line. You crossed the line. You came here and you had a chance to be cool. And what'd you do? You turned it into black people are monkeys now? There's
nothing to do with Judaism.
Yeah, nothing to do with Judaism.
Nothing
like my daughter does.
Judaism.
No. No. It's not happening. And if you don't like that about us, I want you to feel free to take a cactus and shove it all the way up your ass.
All the way.
We've been skinheads since we were little kids. It's not going to change because you have a fucking problem.
All right.
Look at that blue. All of a sudden I was like, I'm blue. So I felt a little bit more.
Double D.
Yeah, I felt a little bit more like, I was emotional. I think I'm going to vote Democrat.
No.
Hey, racism, man. Does it help the Democrats?
It's not a Jewish value.
No.
And has nothing.
Not only is it not a Jewish value, but I would I don't remember which
counter to Jewish
who
value.
said that melancholy is the mother of all sin. So I would say that racism is a connector to melancholy.
Definitely. Feeling that everybody around you is
people that you don't know who could possibly be sweet and kind people. Have it out for you,
or not even that
melancholy.
Not even that they have it out for you.
It's not just a sin, but it's like a grave and mortal sin
because they're just terrible people all around you.
You close the door to relationships that were meant for you by Hashem,
right?
And you took it and said, "No, see, I stick to the way I do things, and we don't talk to the blacks." And
furthermore, I mean, listen, besides for myself. there are lots of Black Jewish people. I'm not the first one.
There's
I wasn't
quite a
just like
few,
invented,
quite a
right?
few. And I commend
and
them
a lot of them
lately for
are
sticking to their guns through everything that's
visually
going
a
on.
lot blacker than me, like Nissim Black or
When people
Amari
can say
Israel.
you're a colonizer and look at you and you're white looking, it's easier for them. But when you're Black and people are calling you a colonizer, so
they feel silly.
Hey, big ups to you guys who are fighting that battle out there, and stay strong because these people are wrong.
And here's the other thing too.
That's what you're
if
fighting.
we want to get into race, anyway, it's always the Ashkenazi who seem to have some sort of like racist attitude. They either think themselves to be white or they have some kind of trepidation about Black people. Even a lot of these liberal ones.
I've heard more than one Ashkenazi refer to themselves as white.
Yeah.
And in the last few years too, which is disturbing to me because I'm going to say, so when they come for everybody, if there's some sort of a struggle, well, whose side are you going to be on?
But here's the other thing. Ashkenazim are also the same group who are acting like the biggest bitches. So how are you going to tell me about who you think is inferior to you, who you think is lower to you, when you're close to, you have white people's blood to some extent, whether you're mixed at 50% or 2%. If you are a completely white-skinned Jew, at some point you had some mixture with pagan people. How is a pagan European who ended up being Christian, how is that somehow higher than an African? That's what I want to know.
Everybody's poo-poo is brown.
No, really.
I had a teacher who said that once to try to get us to stop arguing about race.
Like I had a guy who was telling me, well, the Jews did very well in Europe for a while until Hitler. Like Hitler was the one guy, he ruined it all. Forgetting all the pogroms and all of the bullshit leading up to Hitler. Like Hitler couldn't have done what he did if Europeans were all cool people. I'm sorry. Okay? And these people did a large-scale genocide against the Jews. Large scale. They are the savages. Europeans are the savages. If we're going to get into which race is the lowest, it's probably the fucking Europeans. All right? You guys that think you're all the best, you want to talk about how, well, these groups have a low IQ. These groups have a low IQ. Look at what they didn't build anything beautiful in Africa. These are the excuses that they use. You know what? Being impressed by shiny things is also a sign of a low IQ.
Yeah, well.
When you look at a European building and you think the European people are better because there's some tall, pointy, shiny structure, that's because you yourself have a low IQ and you're impressed by shiny things like a strange animal.
Ooh, shiny things like a strange animal.
Puffins collect little shiny things as trinkets.
They're so cute. They get a bunch of blue stuff. It's all blue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they collect little things because of how it looks.
Because of blue.
And that is what we talk about when we talk about racism. It's foolishness. It's idolatry in the sense that you think that a man who built something that looks beautiful to you is somehow higher than another man who was created by the same God.
Also, the Lord your God, he never told you that race was better or special. It doesn't say that in anyone's Bible, that your race does something to you. No, it's your observance and your merit
it's
as
your
a person
behavior.
and your behavior.
Yeah.
It is never your race. And race is not, and it's not, I'm not one of these people who want to eliminate race though.
Anybody can become Jewish.
You're more than likely to be more than welcome to be racist and have your own race ideas. I know what I'm saying.
But you're not in our
but
group.
Racism, you're not in our group.
Yeah.
And you don't fuck around with us. And if you do, we're not going to handle you. We're going to, in Minecraft, we're going to put you in a trunk.
You're going to have a problem.
Yeah, it's really that the way we roll. And ask anybody.
And it's just the same thing as people who are going around presenting Jews in other negative fashions.
We're already a negative.
When you're trying to, right, if you're trying to present the Jew as this like scumbag person, we're going to oppose you. Yeah. And I don't care if you're coming from the pro-Palestine side or supposedly Jewish side.
Well, we're fighting for the next generation of Jewish kids.
Right.
Who are going to have to live in this world that we're leaving behind.
And we don't want to leave them in something thinking that they have to be racist to be Jewish.
No.
Or that it's even acceptable.
And also, or that Rabbi Kahan was somehow racist because of his views. You're taking the words out of context. You're using
I had a kid on the internet tell me that our group was a fake JDL because we kicked the guy out for saying he hated Arabs, and Rabbi Kahana taught that. No, he didn't.
No, we kicked the guy out because he was a heroin and crack addict. That's the part the kid didn't understand.
Yeah, and he was letting drugs affect his behavior, and he was, going.
We don't do drugs around here either.
And we don't go in fascist chat rooms where they're talking about meth.
We don't fuck with anything like that. Just not what our style is. And oh boy, ain't the first person we've dealt with that's got these problems.
No.
Some people are drawn to the idea of power. They believe that the occult can give them power. They believe the JDL can give them power. And they're obsessed with power. They want power.
They want personal power for themselves.
To be able to tell people what to do, to be able to put their 2 cents in. And, me and Natasha are very against it. When we don't necessarily agree with it anymore, but there used to be a slogan in the punk days, no gods, no masters. And we kind of used to live by that, but now it's all God and he's the master.
Yeah.
We follow.
No human master.
We don't have a human guideline. We have Torah, and Torah is the guideline. When we're worried about something, we look it up. When we're having a problem, we look it up. We don't go first to our own thinking. And like it says, we don't rely on our own understanding.
I go to the Torah before I go to Google.
Yeah, exactly. And, if anything you get across from our group is that racism is bullshit, number one. And then number two,
anti-Jewish.
Please go back to synagogue. And even if you're like, oh, I heard you're a terrorist organization, that's fine. Could you please go back to synagogue? That's fine that you think that would you please go back? Your rabbi misses you. He hasn't seen you.
Or if you don't like that one,
years.
Go to a different one.
If you don't like that one, go to a different one. And you know what? If you're gay and you're turning into a woman, man, seahorse, butterfly, go find the shul that accepts you. There's one out there, I guarantee you.
There's one in the gay neighborhood.
And if you need help finding those gay neighborhood shuls, because I want you to. I challenge you.
One mitzvah leads to another, like the Rebbe said.
Let go of the Palestine and go to the shul.
Right.
Let go of it. And if you're Jewish and you're holding on to the Palestine thing, those people aren't your friends. Go to the shul. Talk to some of the people at the shul. Talk to survivors. Talk to Holocaust people. Talk to people who lived through the Holocaust. Yeah. Right to your face.
And
then let them tell you that it's important or not. You have an opinion.
Let them tell you that this purity test was the first thing that they did before they started fucking.
Yeah, before they started rounding people up and putting them in camps.
Okay.
And you know what? It's going to be a lot easier for them to round them up now because everybody's all categorized on social media. Mm-hmm. So people who don't have social media are either Bielskis running around the forest.
Right. Which, by the way, I'm no longer on Instagram, but there is a JDL profile just as a placeholder, so none of these weirdos make a fake profile of us.
Well, as long as the site is flooded with fake JDL, we won't be on there.
Right.
When those sites disappear and those pages are lessened, we might come back.
Well, we report them, and it doesn't matter.
We're not a part of that, what's going on there, and we don't approve of Brooke Goldstein can suck my ass. Okay.
Well, I don't even look at it every. I look at it.
I do because I'm the security guy. Yeah. Anyone who you come around me with Brooke Goldstein, let's just make it real clear now. That's saying you want a fist fight.
Right.
Okay. Because it's a fighting matter. He did a bad thing.
He had a mental breakdown, and it's not a good look.
So we're not trying to go in the public eye
and look like we're all having mental breakdowns.
Hey, let's make them shoot one of us in the face because we just hate Arabs.
That's so stupid.
Think about what you're saying.
Yeah, and the thing, let me go into this too, about the Brooke Goldstein thing. And that's part of the reason, another reason why that 613 Brotherhood and other groups that are on social media, like the Jewish Defense something, whatever, they all make up different names or whatever. But they are into that. you know, they have this view that Baruch Goldstein is like a symbol that we should put on as a promotion, and which is insane to me. Why would you do that? We can't. Where's our moral basis when we look at the Hamas people? Say, look, this guy. He's got a T-shirt with a guy who killed a bunch of people on it. He's bullshit. How do you, now we're wearing T-shirts with the guys who snapped and killed a bunch of people. You look foolish, and also you're taking advantage of that guy. Had a mental breakdown. Can we not focus on the horrible Rabbi Kahana had been killed.
Horrible tragic event. Tragic event. A tragic event for the people who lost their lives. Tragic for him to get beat
tragic
to death
for the
by
Jews
women.
Because look at how it looks.
Yeah, it's not. These are not. Irv Rubin, same thing. You know,
he had his issues as well.
He was a car thief.
Right. We need
to. He was using the JDL as a cover for criminal activity.
We need, you know, there's
step the fuck off.
Too many people get involved, and they have maybe some good intention in their heart, but they have too much throwing off the balance of this negative degeneracy.
Yeah.
And that's not going to build a movement. That's not going to bring Mashiach, and it's not going to protect the Jews. Period.
Well, for all the energy and time spent doing all these things, there hasn't been one Jewish festival in New York City that gives away free kosher food and everyone has a good fun time. No, instead it's a whole bunch of screaming and yelling.
I mean, they have these small little street festivals.
Yeah, but
they need to have
but they need to have more Jewish joy festivals, Jewish joy events.
Yeah. They hate to see happy Jews.
Hey, you know, if you're gay and you're Jewish, one of the awesome things you can do is go and dance in the fucking streets, man. Show them how we're happy.
Well,
even gay Jews
keep
are
your
happy.
pants on.
Well, you know, even gay Jews are happy. Everyone should be happy and showing them how you ain't busting us. We're happy. What do you blah, blah, blah. You know, Antifa literally commented that about us and says, why do these people look so happy? You know why? Because we're not Antifa, motherfucker. We're
because
the ARA.
I don't live in a bottomless pit of dystopia, of class war despair.
And I'm extending a hand. Get out. Grab my hand. Come get out of that pit. It's a miry pit of dystopia and misanthropy and nihilism. And you know the answer? I'm going to take you over to shul. I'm going to take you over here. And if you're a man, we get you rapping and make sure that you carry a kippah with you everywhere. Even if you don't wear it everywhere, we get one in your pocket. You know, little things that you're like, oh, what's this guy talking about? Little things count. These things matter. And if all of us just put little things in the thing and stop trying to kill off the Goliath in the room, we should go after the little Goliath. About, like, you know, how many people do you think don't own a kippah and they're Jewish?
Too many.
Well, then shouldn't there be an outreach? If you're a Jew, get a free kippah?
You know? There are some
if you're listening and you don't have a kippah, you write us and we'll get you a kippah, okay?
Yeah, we'll figure out how to get you.
Yeah, solid. We'll get you a kippah. But the point is we know the answer. You can listen to everybody else, but the answer is you turning around and taking your ass back to the shul. And if you don't like that shul, you go find one that you do, or you find one in your house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer.
Right.
The other things that's all fake. Only thus is the answer.
Right.
The rest of this is all fake. People talking to you about ideas and emotions and yellow and black and you know, it's got those striking, you know, bumblebee colors and Meir Kahan and his fiery speeches. Yeah, and in the end, when Natasha restarted the organization, people came to her and said, this is so cool that you guys are going to put a respectable face to the group.
Because there's been so many
So if you don't like this group's now respectable face, come and fight us over it. Because we're not going to meet you at the barricades. We're not stupid. This is about God and Torah, and we ain't scared of none of you because he's with us.
100.
And nobody else can stop us doing this job. And until the day we die, we will sit here and complain about the system and the people, and we'll say, go to the Torah. Read the Bible. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care what even if you're a Muslim, read the Torah.
Right.
Read it. Don't tell me about how I'm a pig and a baby killer. Read it. We're all connected. You know who isn't connected? Is the haters and the Satanists who are having a field day right now since October 7th.
Yeah, the dark evil.
The dark evil pieces of shit who think it's funny to laugh at people being raped. They're having a party. So, like we say, there's certain elements and topics that we do not let into the group. And when we say the group, this is just the show, the two of us. When there's a huge group of us, just know that we don't fucking play that. And it ain't a 2-person show you've been watching on a damn YouTube account. It's the real world, and we don't play that. And also, take your ass back to shul.
You know, Rabbi Kahana talked about how he wished the day would come when you didn't have to have the Jewish Defense League.
Yeah. Or
Um,
in the days we didn't have to say never again anymore, like Schifrin said.
yeah. The
How
thing
about
is,
you know,
so
we don't say never again because if you
Why-
do it, we'll fucking kill you.
why do we have guns, self-defense training? Why do we talk about all this stuff? Because this is the time when we still need it in the world. But if the Jews would do everything right, again, Rabbi Kahana said, it doesn't matter what the Gentiles say, it matters what the Jews do.
Exactly.
If we start doing more mitzvahs, if we start
praying more,
we start
charity,
studying more Torah,
having your kids open the book.
Watch Rabbi Shifrin's Devar Torah this week. He's talking about the power of studying Torah.
And we're not talking about the empty spark of
just reading the book.
Reverence,
studying.
where you're trying so hard to look observant and from that.
No, we need to understand it
spark.
and learn. Real learning.
Yes.
Real learning.
Like it's a driver's license.
Like you have to
like it's a driver's ed manual.
Right.
You can't pass the test without reading this book.
If
properly.
the Jews do everything right, then when we bring Mashiach, then we don't need a Jewish Defense League anymore. We don't need an IDF. We don't need any of these things.
We don't need nothing.
But
as
right now we
told
do.
Us this
Okay,
month.
so until you guys want to do everything right in the Torah, we will continue to need guns. We will continue to have to fight people. We will continue to be ready for anything.
Be persecuted. And it will be important. It's definitely important to understand that you'll get persecuted for anything. But racism, that's not one thing that we engage in or ever have engaged in. And we've unengaged in it so much that it's been at a fault to our business.
Now, people, of course,
our livelihoods have suffered because.
And of course, people have called me racist, primarily as a Zionist, because they want to frame Zionism as racism. But in the traditional definition of what racism is, and believing that there are such a thing as inferior races, that is counter to the Torah. Any person from any race can become Jewish. So if you're saying they're inferior, then you're saying they can't become Jewish, or what are you saying? So essentially, remember that. Racism is goyish behavior.
Well, yeah, because the nations like to
Separate by
people,
race.
separate people by race, not by ethnicity or by.
Because their nations are formed on the simple regional idea that all these people who were kind of the same, they live near each other, and they're the kind of the same race. Well, that's what becomes a nation. Our nation is formed on an idea. Our nation is formed on a covenant. Our nation is formed from all of the people of the world to do the work that Hashem has put forth for us. Okay. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with a race. Okay. Now, obviously, the original small group started from a family. So you could say that early on there was an ethnic group, a specific ethnic group, but at this,
as there was with everything.
As of Sinai, and moving forward, Jews are an ethno-religious tribe, meaning once you join that tribe, you're part of that ethnic group.
Yeah, and the rabbis had a say about joining, whether you could or you couldn't. And we had rabbis like Moshe Rabbeinu for a while who, come on, if he said you're a Jew, apparently, everyone's like, yeah, Moshe converted me. That's awesome.
Right.
It's a little different.
You can't really get any better.
Oh, I'm Jewish. And when you say I was converted by Moshe, geez,
Pretty,
wow. you must know a few things. Like,
right.
you know, I was converted by kind of a liberal guy in a way, but which is cool. But you know, I could see how it would rub off. But if Moshe was my guy, I mean,
right. Well, liberal compared to you. But yeah, the basic idea is that eventually all of humanity will recognize Hashem.
Deuteronomy was just saying that to us.
The concept
eventually they'll
of
all recognize
racism
he's the one true deity.
is against the Torah in so many different ways. So many different ways. And again, if I would do the same thing for, you know, like I went off on the guy who was Jewish and doing, you know, trying to do Jewish activism and it was also involved in pornography. Bad look, don't do it. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out if you're on our side, making our side look like shit. If you're making us look against Torah, if you're making us look like we have abandoned Jewish values in favor of some stupid Goyish version of nationalism. Yeah. All right. We will call you out. So, you know,
well, expect resistance.
Maybe don't do it.
Expect resistance. If you don't respect our existence, you're going to expect the resistance that will come from us on many different angles. And you know, this is just a YouTube show.
The pro-Pally side, they are
again. We welcome the
racist.
pro-Pally side to debate because so far every single one of you backs out of the debate.
Never has one ever shown up.
If we're so wrong and we're so horribly fascist that we can't be debated because you can't give fascists
because
a platform.
You'll lose.
I hate to let you know that that's how fascism creeps in by
by not allowing dissent.
Hitler basically said, "Oh, the only way they could have stopped us is if they did it on the street in the first place." You know,
exactly.
So by saying I don't debate fascists, okay, so you're a fascist.
Right.
Let's stop with
and
this
let's
nonsense.
Remember, and it's a good point that you just brought up about Hitler. So that's why we have to stop these things at level that they're at now.
Well, we at least have to debate them at that level.
You have to stop them.
If it gets further to where it becomes a political party, that's not our fault.
Yeah, you have to stop them from
it should have been stopped at the street level. Yeah.
Into politics and culture as much as possible. And the more you do things like represent Jews as racist or pornographers or any of this type of shit, the more you add to their side.
If you're not confronted by me, it'll definitely be by Natasha.
You're helping their side.
The story we're saying here is because the JDL is what it means, the Jewish Defense League. We're here to help defend the Jewish people and the
Jewish idea.
And the Jewish idea. We're not here for any other reason. We're not here to, you know, make you feel a certain way or, you know, take money.
We might make you feel a certain way.
We're not here looking for money. You know, you could look at our track record as people and activists. You know, they'll tell you we're failed musicians. We're 100% failed musicians. Like we're not corporate people.
No, yeah, we were too political.
Never have been. But there's people, you know, back in the 1990s who knew who our D-Beat band was all the way around the world, in Sweden and the Philippines and Indonesia. But, you know, it didn't exist when the internet came, you know?
Yeah, so nobody knows
about us.
How much we fought racism and anti-Semitism
and a lot of our stories, and we leave them buried, but
and it doesn't matter.
Never stop being active in trying to do the right thing and help people. We're not out here trying to hurt.
And it doesn't matter that any of that shit isn't on the internet because we're not looking for credit or clout for it. But the point is, we've invested a lot of fucking time.
Yesterday is canceled, as Newton Pius said in the video. Yesterday's canceled. Today is, you got to stand firm. That today is what's important, and we don't go back and rehash the past. Just like how, you know, we have members of the band who have passed away, so that's why the band is no longer performing.
Yeah,
not
that's
some
another
other reason. So, you know.
Yeah, we didn't care that it was a small crowd of people who were involved in politics.
We never cared.
Because I didn't want a bunch
We're not movie stars. We don't care that you don't
people
like
at
us.
my show. You know? No, I didn't want to go and try and perform for a bunch of fake people.
What was that Rob Kook who said, the man who's a slave to how others, his whole life is a stage. If you're a slave to how other people see things,
how other people view you.
You're a slave. You got to wake up and be your own person.
You need to think about how does Hashem view you.
Is a slave mentality because you're agreeing with false facts. You're agreeing with, bullcrap, and you can choose not to do that.
And the pro-Pally side is a racist movement. I mean, it's coming from.
Well, some elements of it are just it's a nationalist movement to try to preserve that country's identity. And I don't understand why the Proud Boys were racist, fascist terrorists, but these guys who were doing that in Palestine are somehow freedom fighters and shit. Doesn't make sense, because aren't the Proud Boys the same kind of nationalists?
For Palestine, in Palestine.
Exactly. Well, right. But I mean, the Proud Boys are the same thing: nationalist, religious, most of them.
Right. The thing is that people, I guess, would start respecting the Proud Boys if they hang glided in and raped a bunch of people,
Or else just stop eating cereal.
Yeah,
not be connected to that incredible cuck Gavin.
Yeah. But we're getting off the topic a little bit. No, a lot of these people don't even know who that is. So, the point is that we are fighting against the descendants of the Nazis. And to adopt any type of Nazi ideology or Nazi adjacent ideology or symbolism right now is the worst thing you could do for the Jews. The worst possible thing you could do for the Jews. You don't look scary, first of all. If you think that you're going on the internet and using like fascist symbols and trying to racially intimidate people, and you think that makes Jews look strong, it makes you look weak and stupid. Everybody knows that racists are weak and stupid. Okay? They are fearful of people that they consider inferior, which is obviously a mental schism to begin with, because am I afraid of an ant? If I started to be afraid of ants, you would think I had a problem, right? Because I know that I'm superior to an ant.
That's a pretty good metaphor. We're all about the metaphors here.
So, in reality, also the other concept is that you don't have faith in God if you have fear of, there's too many of these race or this or some, and you.
God made us all. What are you talking about? That's why I was.
You need to educate people. The problem in the world is people with wrong mentalities, not people with wrong biologies.
Yeah, exactly. It's not something that makes
you need to change their minds.
Well, you know what?
Also, it's a losing battle because you can't change somebody's race. You hate them based on their race. Oh, wow, great. So what? That's something they cannot change. So you're wasting your time on something that they'll never be able to progress out of, and you'll never stop hating them because they'll always be whatever that color is that you don't like. Like I said, you got to hate the ways, not the race. There's plenty of people that are savages in the world. There's plenty of people who are low IQ in the world, but it's because of their brain. Okay, it's not because of their color. There's brilliant people of any color, race, and I can't believe I have to say this, but
you have to repeat stuff.
You have to repeat stuff because people are simple and stupid. But that's counter to the Jewish idea, and we will not stand for stuff that is counter to the Jewish idea being pushed as something Jewish.
So let this podcast be the final word on it.
Yes.
And next week she won't be bringing it up anymore.
Right. I think I've said what I have to say about this.
And we're going to use this podcast as a link. When you want to link us to racism and connect us to racist groups and try to write us off as racist, we're going to fight you very hard because you don't know who you're messing with.
It's another blood libel.
It's a blood libel. You're not going to erase the work we've done.
It's another blood libel.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Jews are racist. Jews are Nazis. And stuff. You're feeding into more blood libel. You might as well, go and
so we made it very clear that JDL USA does not tolerate racism in any form. We also have this new.
I was going to mention the press release. There is a new press release out, official JDL communique from this month. It is on the blog, which of course you can see down there.
No, in the thing that's going past.
barzilshul.substack.com. It is also linked from the front of the website at thejdl.us. If you click where it says we do not vouch for any other groups,
Well,
federal
and as always,
agents, etc.
we're available on YouTube. You can click comment. You can argue with us. You can say whatever you want. And the fact that you don't means that there's no comment and you agree with us. So we'll just take it as that.
But yeah, in the end, the Jewish idea is the Jewish idea. It's not some European's idea. It's not some Chinese idea. It's not some random feeling that somebody had. It is what is laid out in the Torah, and we should try our best to do it.
As he says in Torah, if you do these things, it will go well for you.
That's right. On that note,
he doesn't promise you.
We will be ending
the show. Hey, thanks for having me again. I haven't been on in a couple of weeks and months because I've been busy working nights, working class like a shithead. Yeah, that's what working class life is like. You wouldn't know what that's like because you live at your mom's house.
All right. Good night, folks.
Started back in 68. Was bad safe Giffords fighting hate. Never again will the battle cry. And we won't let that spirit die. We know the streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League will make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazi terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fist. Jewish Defense League. We are not Jews with trembling knees. We're Jews with strength and expertise. We're stronger and we're smarter than you. So don't make us do what we do. We know these streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League, we make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fist. Jewish Defense League. You don't like Jews, we don't like you. You spread your lies, we speak the truth. You think Jews can't be pushed around? Well, wait till JDL's in town. We know these streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League, we'll make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fist. Jewish Defense